Hi, and welcome. Thank you for joining me for the Self Connector Loving Yourself Back to Wholeness. Today, I want to talk a little about shifting your thoughts and a new mantra. I want to teach you a new mantra. So, first, let's talk about shifting your thoughts. Let me ask you, do you ever spend time worrying about what other people think about you? Do you ever adjust your behavior because you're trying to avoid that somebody thinks or feels a certain way? And do you realize that it's a complete waste of time? Or do you realize that afterwards, when you're disappointed because you worked so hard to create a certain feeling experience, you worked really hard to make somebody happy, and they weren't happy? You worked really hard to not hurt somebody's feelings, and they were upset with you. You worked really hard to make sure somebody would think that you're smart, and they're not so impressed. They don't have such a great opinion of you. So pause for a moment. Does that resonate with you? Do you spend time in your life? Do you spend energy tweaking who you are, tweaking your behavior, trying to please the outside world, trying to make sure everybody out there is happy? Because when everybody out there is happy, then it feels like, oh, then you're happy. Because after all, you're a loving person and you want everybody to be happy. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. This can be a real energy zapper, especially when all your big efforts don't pay off. Because here's the deal. You have no control over how other people feel or what they think. And you might go, no, wait a minute. When I bring my mother-in-law flowers, she's happy. And when I read a good night story to my kids, they're happy. And when I have sex with my husband on Saturday morning, he's happy. Yeah, that may be so, but those are still choices. Imagine for a moment if somebody held a gun to your head. Let's hope that never happens, but just imagine if somebody held a gun to your head and commanded you to feel joyful. Imagine this for a moment. Would they be able to make you feel joyful? Probably not, right? They have no control over that. That is something you would have to choose. You would have to choose and go, okay, I'm going to think a joyful thought. But it's not something that they could make happen. And so often we're trying so hard to please others, to make them happy, to make sure they don't get hurt. And in the process, we're forgetting about ourselves. We're not honoring our truth. We're not listening and doing what we need to do for ourselves. And then afterwards, we're upset and we feel disconnected. Or we have the story about no matter how hard you try, it's never enough. Ever heard that one? No matter what I do, it's never good enough. It's not good enough, not because you're not good enough. It's not good enough because of those other people who you can't please. So my invitation today is to shift your thinking, and really recognize that we don't have power and control over other people's thoughts and actions. We just don't. And so the segue to this is your new mantra. And the new mantra is, what other people think of me is none of my business. And of course, we're not talking in the context of commercial, of clients. Of course, we want to know what our clients think and all that stuff. We're talking here on a personal level, on a heart level. How much time have you spent feeling hurt or worrying that somebody was thinking something negative about you? Because here's the other thing. We tend to imagine that people were disappointed or were thinking negative things about ourselves. Very few people walk around the world going, oh, everybody thinks I'm so great. This is an awesome day. Everybody thinks I'm amazing. Yeah, I don't know. And if that happens to you, that's awesome. I mean, what a great way to feel. But most of us, especially women, tend to walk around feeling like somehow we're not good enough, somehow we need to do more or be different in order for other people to be happy with us. But it starts here. You need to be happy with yourself, and you need to let go of others and their opinions and their thoughts by reminding yourself, what other people think of me is none of my business. Because we're coming from the place, and I'm assuming, that you're already doing your best. You're already coming from a loving and kind place. But what I'm wanting to help you with here is, as we return to wholeness, is to not put yourself down, to not criticize yourself, to not feel like you're not good enough, to feel like you have to be different so somebody else can be happy and then you can be okay because they're happy with you. They're going to be happy with you or not, regardless of what you do. You can bring somebody flowers and they might go, awesome, wow, how thoughtful, you brought me flowers. You can bring somebody flowers and they might think, doesn't she know I hate flowers? Now I have to find a vase. What am I going to do with these flowers? That's all I needed. More work. You have no control over that. So here's your new mantra. What other people think of me is none of my business. Thank you for joining me for this self-connector, loving yourself back to wholeness. I always love to hear how these ideas and suggestions and invitations work for you, so please leave me comments in the comment section. And I'm Ina Stockhausen. I'm a somatic psychotherapist offering heart-centered counseling and spiritual mentoring for individuals and couples. Thank you. My love and appreciation flows out to you.